5, 7, 1, 2, 3.
Hi, this is Pods and Ends, the junk drawer of pop culture and geek podcasts.
And welcome back to Pods and Ends. This is part 2 of our 2018 wrap-up. We will continue now and hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode.
So, yeah, out of the game room into the locker room.
Listen up, sports fans, it's time for the locker room.
Phil, I know you have some big locker room news, so let's start with you.
Locker room news, okay, where do we start? Five Rivers Bowls Club, which is where I played Loddon Vale today in the Wessex League. It's currently a round robin. They're one of our mid to top table rivals. We're looking to get into the knockout stages this year for the first time in the club's history. And we managed to beat them 14-2 over the game, at 16 points obviously, and give us a really good chance. We've got 2 games left. We have to play East Dorset and then Chawton Park, so every chance we're going to qualify for the first time, which is excellent news. In football news, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken over. The manager of Manchester United, Jose Mourinho, has been fired.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. When did that happen?
Like 6 weeks ago.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah.
so
I heard Mourinho was doing bad. He's the special one, yeah?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no. Apparently
He's the
not.
sacked one. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, an old player, he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final for the Manchester United to win Champions League. He's come in, rejuvenated the team, and they've won 5 on the trot. So there's likely that Spurs, my team, are playing them next weekend, that we will go and watch, and it will be epic, and hopefully Tottenham will end their winning streak.
Yeah, because Tottenham are on a good run as well.
Yes, they just won 7-0 at the weekend. That's 7 goals in one game, Brian. That's proper sport, isn't it?
yeah, that's pretty good. The Penguins won
Yeah,
7-2 this past week too, so they're
Nice.
They're putting it on.
Someone's been saying that Spurs are using up all their goals because they won like 6-1 the other week, 7-0 now, and
I don't think that's how
commentators
it
like,
works.
yeah, I know.
So yeah, that's it. And then I thought I need to have a sporting highlight. So I've got an honourable mention, which has got to be the World Cup.
Well, that's not an honourable mention. That is my one.
Okay.
I'll talk about that one.
And then, so my one is same competition, the Wessex League. We're playing against a team called Atherley, and it was down to the wire. And to qualify for the knockout stages with my old club before I got the controversial transfer to Five Rivers, I bowled an absolute wonder bowl and won the game. Cheered, the crowd erupted, but the reason it was so good and was my highlight of the year is that the Dorset under 18 squad was watching at this point, and I'm, kind of a big deal. And they were all there, and I thought, right, this is it. I need to produce some magic here. I need to be unbeatable.
magic.
And yeah, bowled this absolute wonder bowl. The team went mental. All the little kids and all the older kids all just were like loving it at the end. And these opponents from Southampton, their heads it was just such a wonder bowl that you couldn't believe it, and it just destroyed their hopes that season. And I loved every second of it. It was amazing. Literally loved it.
That's so cool.
What about you, Soph? Any current sports news?
No. So sure, I'll just jump into my 2018 highlights. I have 2 actually.
Oh me, oh my.
Yeah, I know. For someone who's not, I sort of mildly participate in sport. But anyway, we had the World Cup in the summer. It's a ridiculously big deal in this country. It is that whole stereotype. We were a walking stereotype for the summer. But I think the thing that made the World Cup extra special was we were in the middle of the longest heat wave. It was something like a 3-month heat wave that we had. So the country was just like, it was a different country to be in, wasn't it, this summer?
Home.
Yeah, that
It's
was just, I think
coming
didn't
home.
that get back in the
It's
charts
coming.
again?
Yeah, it got to number 1.
Oh, did it?
Football's coming home.
Yeah.
It's coming
You literally
home.
had this,
It's coming
every weekend
home.
people were out in the sunshine, there's barbecues, the football was on, and the shocking thing of all was that we were doing really well, which I'm used to just years of disappointment with England. They're just more, I sometimes switch allegiances and then I'm like, well, I'll just say I'm Welsh now because it's just so embarrassing. I just switched to that half of my my bloodline, but I didn't have to do that this year. I could just fully embrace the Englishness because they did us proud. We had the little love train where they all like squished together for a free kick. Is it 100% the wall, wasn't it? They did the love train, which was amazing. And England won on penalties, which is something that, and I actually nearly cried when I saw that. That's how caught up in the moment I got, because I've never seen, I can't remember the last time. I can remember Alan Shearer scoring penalties, that's about it. Not everyone else used to miss.
It's literally a reference that no one is going to understand.
I'm sure Dave knows Alan Shearer.
Yeah, Dave probably does.
But it was an amazing summer. We got further than obviously.
The last time we reached the semi-final of the World Cup was 1990. Previous to that, we won the World Cup in 1966. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah,
that's why
I don't
it's
remember
special.
1966. I don't really remember.
Not as special as my Wonder Bowl, but
it
Right,
was.
of
Yeah, and then
your other one, Soph?
my other one was, and this was really really special. Was we went and watched baseball games in South Korea, and it was incredible. Like, we'd heard that since baseball had been, it's quite a new sport, isn't it, in South Korea?
Fairly, yeah. Japan took it on first from America, and then and then Korea have decided that they want to do it. I think it's about 12 years they've been proper doing it.
And they have really run with it, haven't they? And the bit that really is incredible is you have this section of the crowd where there's like a kind of conductor dude, isn't there? We don't know what he wore robes, and he was sort of like, and then there were the cheerleaders. But they had these chants and these, like, you'd have your little hand movements that you would do. And there was a chant for, and they're kind of chants, kind of songs, was sort of songs, wasn't it? And it would be for each player as they came on to bat. There would be when they had scored a home run. I was so into it. I still sing the chants now because they would just, do, 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 Kim Jae, a home run. Do, 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 do. It's incredible.
I didn't know you could
Honestly,
make baseball adorable.
But
I
apparently,
they
really
did.
can. And some of them were based off of like songs that we'd heard, weren't there?
The thing with it, in the first game we saw in the first innings, they got a 4.
I don't know what that means.
Like a
Was that good?
golden
Oh yeah,
something.
Like a
or
grand
a
slam.
grand slam.
Grand Slam. Yes.
So the first ever time we've watched baseball live, and there was 4 people batting, and they got a grand slam. We're like, whoa, this is just blowing all the
I
expectations.
know.
Yeah, right? Normally you just
We
see a bunch of boring pitching and the game ends 1-0.
yep, people standing
Yeah.
around and are like, oh.
But yeah, the Koreans made it very fun. And when your team wasn't batting,
you get to sit down.
you get to sit
yeah.
down, or you go and get fried chicken or a beer, or
Yeah,
you get
that's the
some
thing. You're allowed to
burgers.
bring
Or
in food and drink, which we're not really allowed to do
in England, you're not allowed to do it at all. You're
No.
not even allowed to take apples because they could be classed as offensive weapons.
we can't be trusted with anything. Basically,
Yeah, I was gonna
Bottles
say,
are not allowed to
an
have
apple
lids
would
on
hurt.
and all
I don't want you
sorts.
carrying apples.
They give us apples. Oh my gosh, they give you.
I don't think you can get an apple at a stadium in the U.S.
No, you cannot.
You walk up. Can I have an apple?
Still gonna get
we
one
don't
in the
have fried
supermarket.
candied apples. Sorry. No, I just want a regular apple.
A what?
A what?
They take the bottle caps off so you don't throw them.
Yeah, like
yeah.
And you don't get to keep that.
you can only have plastic bottles just so they don't go,
Yeah, same.
as heavy and hard. But people will throw like full ones. They'll go buy a beer just so they can throw the full beer at a player.
Yeah.
And there's like
We
that
can't be
octopus
trusted.
thing where people throw.
Oh yeah, in
That's terrible.
Detroit. Well, it's already dead.
I hate it.
They do a
They
catfish. in
throw
Nashville.
octopuses.
Yeah, it's a Red Wings thing. Like, I don't know the story behind it, but they'll like chuck an octopus on the ice for some reason.
It's dumb.
They do catfish in Nashville.
It's dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
But
have
then
that
the
here.
guy
They
like
throw
runs out and
pennies.
cleans it up and he like throws it around over his head
It's
like
so-
the terrible towel
Ugh.
thing. It's really weird. I should look up what the whole deal is, but
Sports people are weird.
yeah.
If people want to say like
Yeah.
nerds are weird, they need to look at sports people and be like, Excuse me?
Yeah, they ragging on cosplay, and then they show up to the game like with their face fully painted and like shoulder pads on. They're like, what?
Yes.
It's different.
It's
completely different. Anyway,
Yeah.
So what about you guys then?
yeah, Shelby, what's your sporting news?
Well, my sporting news is that Dana Holgerson is no longer the coach of WVU football.
Yeah, we got stomped. Shelby and I both went to WVU, just background information. But we got stomped by Syracuse in a bowl game again. And then our coach, in 2 days after or something, went to what, as far as like hierarchy of universities goes, is a downgrade.
Yeah, it's UH.
But he's getting
right?
more money.
Yeah. Well, he's not the greatest of like people.
No,
I don't
we've been on
I
a
remember whenever
pretty lengthy
I-
string of not great human beings
Right?
as coaches.
That's true. Whenever I first started college was Dana Holgerson's first year as football coach. And I remember him coming and speaking to us, and it was just like, I don't know. I've never been a really big Dana fan. I mean, sure, my freshman year, we went to the Orange Bowl and beat the crap out of Clemson.
With Stewart's team.
Yep.
Cough, cough.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Indeed.
But
Is this like when we talk about our soccer? You literally have no idea what we're on about.
Yeah,
Yes.
more or less. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
As
Okay, good,
confused as
good.
you are right now is the way we feel when you talk about soccer.
yeah.
I'm just looking at Sophie thinking they're saying words I don't even understand what they mean.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so he's gone, and I'm glad about it. I don't know. I'm glad that we're rid of him because he just hasn't really produced the best of teams, and it's really hard to compete in the Big 12 as WVU. I don't know.
Yeah, with your closest competitor being in Iowa. If
Yeah.
you know anything about
The
United
expansive
States geography, that's not close.
No, it's not close at all.
But anyway,
So-
basically what we're talking about for Phil and Soph and anyone else who doesn't know, collegiate sports are a really big deal in the U.S. And we're talking about our collegiate football team, and their coach
Right.
decided to leave after losing a bowl game where most of his seniors didn't play.
Because they didn't want to ruin their chances
Right. It was
of
just
being drafted in the
and,
NFL.
and that
which
tells
is-
you a little bit about the coach. Like, you can't rally your team enough to want to play for each other and for the school. They're out there for themselves.
Right.
Like,
You don't see that from the Alabama players. So
oh, heck no.
yeah. Anyway, so that's my news, but my highlight for 2018, I would say, is it's kind of a tie between the US team winning gold for curling at the Olympics,
Oh, yes.
which is pretty awesome.
Ice sweeping is bomb.
I love watching curling. It's one of my favorite things to watch.
Yeah, I like the
Have you
curling.
tried it?
No, I want to though.
I think they do it at the ice rink now.
Nuh-uh. Oh,
yeah.
we should sign up to just go take a lesson or something.
Yeah, I'd be down. I
It's-
don't know.
But
It's meant to be ridiculously difficult. I got a guy who's Scottish who I play bowls with, because Scotland are
They're really big.
they make
into
up
it,
the
yeah.
GB team,
Yeah.
and
It's basically just Scotland.
and he tried it when he was up there last and said it was almost impossible. And he is a very, very competitive bowls player, so
interesting.
you'd have thought it's a similar sort of thing you're looking at.
It's kind of bowls on ice,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Bowls
Quite
on
on.
ice.
Oh my god, it's like Yuri on ice, but bowls on ice.
But yeah, it'd be something I definitely want to try.
Yeah.
My other number one is the Las Vegas Knights inaugural season doing so well.
Oh yeah, the Golden Knights hockey team. That was pretty special, just because of the whole incident that happened in Vegas, and then
It's
the
a
only
team of
sports
players
team that they have there is the Golden Knights. And yeah, like Shelby's saying, it's a team of sort of misfits, kind of, because when you have a new team in the league, they do an expansion draft, and basically each current team puts up some of their players and says, okay, you can pick from these guys if you want to take them. So it's essentially, it leaves the players that get picked in the expansion draft thinking, okay, I was like expendable to my team. Wow, thanks.
I know. And
So yeah, they all
yeah.
had kind of a chip on their shoulder, and they came together and they played really well. Unfortunately, they lost.
but they got to the
Yeah, the cup final.
Cup final, which is huge for a brand new team. I mean, that's incredible. Plus, we have some Penguins veterans, notably,
The Flower,
yes,
who's still actually playing really well. So rip Pittsburgh for doing that. But, salary
I-
caps, baby.
Yep. So, yeah, that would probably be my tie for the number one sports highlight of 2018.
That's a good one. I like it. I'm impressed. I thought you were going to be like, I don't have anything. Ha! Sports are silly.
Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate the encouragement.
I said that I'm impressed. Then I made fun of you.
Yeah, okay.
See?
So go ahead and say yours, which definitely can't top mine now.
It doesn't, not at all. Mine's all about me, and yours is very altruistic.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I meant that actually too, even if it didn't sound like it.
Thanks.
But yeah, for me, currently the Penguins are on an 8-0 streak. They just smashed the Winnipeg Jets, who are a pretty highly rated team, 4-0. So they are doing tremendous. They are peaking at kind of the right time. Maybe a little too early. We'll see how it pans out. But things are good on that hockey front. And then my ice hockey team, man down at the Bakersfield Ice Complex. I forget what they call it now. It changed names. Its sponsors different. I don't know. We're just like a major arena, you know. Everyone wants a piece. But anyway, we won our rec league earlier in the year. We get like 4 seasons a year. We basically play every week. And then they just chunk up the season every couple of months. They're like, okay, we're going to do playoffs now. And then, hey, you won. Congratulations. Next week, we're starting over. But we won once. It was fun. We made a little video of like this chintzy little trophy pretending it was the cup and stuff. It was good. It was a good time.
Nice.
And then we did poorly the next season. So, oh well. Carry on. Sports ball. So yeah, that's that. Now, let's leave the locker room and just go Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow, chicka, chicka, boom, boom.
So I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
As I mentioned with my off the shelf, we watched Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, which is amazing because she's so adorable and knowledgeable and calming and soothing. So if you like things like Queer Eye or it's Hoarders but happy.
Yeah.
I saw someone describe it that way. It's Hoarders but happy, and it's not like this depressing, oh my gosh, let's throw all your crap away. She fosters that idea of if you want to keep it, but understand why you're keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it. They had a really good mix of couples and families in the show, so I really appreciated the diversity that they were showcasing there. And it's just a really soothing thing, and it kind of lights that fire underneath of you to do the organizing that you know you want to do, and it makes it seem manageable because you see all these people go through it. It's really funny to see on Twitter and Instagram of people saying, oh, yes, I have been watching Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. Why do you ask? And it's like a picture of all their clothes on their bed.
Yeah.
Them going through the whole, yeah.
I
It's
would
nice
love to
'cause-
see. I would love to see how much uptick in donations to charities for clothes and things happen within the next month or so because of this show. I wonder if there's any correlation. There has to be. So I really have enjoyed that show a lot. And then Brian and I both watched all of this. So what's your opinion of it, Brian?
Yeah, it's nice because it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, why did you need someone to tell you to do this? It's so obvious. But it's one of those things that it's so simple, you almost look over it. Like her method is basically take all your stuff, put it in a pile, go through it one at a time and see what you actually like and what's just kind of there. And then when you put it back neatly and then keep it that way. Like it's really not that complicated, but
and I like the way she folds things, and I like
Yeah,
the
that's
way
pretty
that
clever.
she puts it in
Actual
vertically
magic.
so you can see it.
and she folds a fitted sheet and makes it look not stupid.
Oh my goodness. I watched a video on her folding sheets, and the only problem now is that I find that if I don't have time to fold them properly, then I just leave them in a ball in the laundry basket once they've come out of the dryer, because it's like, well, I can't just fold them badly now. I have to fold them the KonMari way, or they just stay in the ball. So that's the only thing, is that she's set this standard now that I like my sheets to be folded. So they're either folded that way or not at all. So.
And we were talking about how we really appreciate, and we get weirdly emotional every time she does the greeting of the house. in the episodes. And it's just a really calming and soothing thing. And I love the way that she appreciates things and teaches people to appreciate and thank things that you're getting rid of. It's really cool. Watch it.
Yeah, it's not very many episodes. It is nice.
It's a great binge.
Yeah.
Have you watched it, Soph?
No, but I I followed her Instagram because I heard of the book. So then I went and followed her on Instagram, and she I've watched all of her stories and stuff.
So she's the reason why I have to chuck stuff away.
She's part of it. That's why we call it condoing, when we're going to condo the spare room.
Have you looked at it?
Yeah, no, we've not done very well at the moment. As I'm saying, we need to watch this program, get some re-inspiration.
I could sleep in it. I love it.
I could not sleep in this room.
The other thing is 7 Days Out. So it's a documentary series where it's 7 days out from a big event. So the first one was Westminster Dog Show, which was incredible. And then we've watched, what else? The reopening of the #1 restaurant in the world and
The Saturn NASA thing.
Mm-hmm. So they've all been really good, and I like the format. The documentary series is really well done, so definitely check that out. And then finally, we caved and watched Bird Box.
We did watch Bird Box.
I'm hearing everyone talking about this.
It is.
I'm not going to watch it.
It's good.
Yeah,
Is it?
I
What's it
really
about?
liked it.
It is.
Boggarts.
Yeah. Well, it's like a post-apocalyptic event where the event is these strange creatures show up and like
Try not
show
to spoil.
everyone their worst fears. Well, this is from the
Yeah.
preview.
Go ahead.
And then they just start killing themselves. And
Oh.
and I'm sure you've seen the things where people have the blindfolds, right?
No.
No, Sophie doesn't. She only goes on Star Wars internet.
Well, anyway, the whole premise is as long as you don't see them, you're okay. So that everyone like figures out going around with blindfolds, and then the main character played by Sandra Bullock tries to go on this epic journey with 2 children wearing blindfolds, not being able to see. It's pretty intense. It's it drags
Netflix
a little
had
bit,
to release a.
but it's actually really fun, really intense, really good.
Yeah,
I
liked it a lot.
And
Yeah.
John Malkovich is in it, and he's fantastic.
Absolutely. So
Netflix had to release a tweet which said, "Please don't try."
the Bird Box
the
challenge.
Bird Box
Blindfolds
challenge.
on.
Yeah, walk around or driving cars or anything with blindfolds on.
Really?
Yeah, there's a scene
Well,
in
you
the movie.
could see it
from
being
there.
like the Bird Box
Yeah.
challenge, can't you?
Oh, ugh. Yeah.
Well,
You know what people are like nowadays.
People are predictable.
Let's eat laundry tablets and stuff. So
Yeah, right.
laundry tablets. That's so funny. But I think my highlight from Netflix and chill, which I mean, we think about Netflix and chill as being any sort of streaming TV kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
any sort of
Um,
television.
It's probably a tie between Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and The Good Place.
Oh, yeah.
So those two are my highlights. They're amazing, very thoughtful, especially The Good Place. It's just like so incredible.
Mhm.
So those two are like the big ones for 2018 for me.
Ta-da!
Nice.
Phyllis, you're up.
me. So at the moment we have a program on Channel 4 called Countdown. I don't know if you have it in America, but it's a word and numbers game. So you get 9 letters and you have to try and make the longest word, and then you get a number and you have to try and get numbers. Sounds dry, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really like old people watching. It's about 4:00 in the afternoon it comes on, and
It's-
your nan's will be like, "Oh, just get ready for countdown."
But one of our favourite comedy panel shows, 8 out of 10 Cats, has done 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, and they do a series occasionally, and they've just released a new one, and it's just ridiculous and stupid and such brilliant television.
Because all the contestants are comedians as
Yeah,
well.
so it's just banter the whole time. And that's my current Netflix and chill, because I just love watching it. It just makes me giggle all the way through.
Nice.
And then my highlight of the year, I got 2. Derry Girls.
Oh.
So did you
How do you
guys?
explain Derry Girls?
Did you
I
guys
know
get
exactly
the?
what it is. It's we've
you?
we've seen the preview on Netflix.
It could be a Love Actually for you.
Yeah.
That we think's hilarious and you might not. But yeah, it's very.
So it's just
we were young at the time when it's based because it's mid-90s or earliest
early
90s.
90s, isn't it?
So
Early
we will
90s.
understand all of the.
Actually, I think it might even be 80s because it was all the
It might,
the
yeah.
Troubles, wasn't it?
It's all the conflict between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland and Catholics and Protestants, and it's a comedic way of looking at it, and sort of a look at the Roman Catholic Church as well. And it's
because they're at a Catholic school, aren't they?
And
The
it
girls
is
are.
just, and the things they get up to is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And the girls that play like the main roles are just, they're all brilliant, and it's just, I love it.
It's one of those ones where there's there's like three main girls, isn't there? And then there's the guy who kind of tags along the cousin.
The cousin somehow has got
English
himself
cousin.
into a.
He's an English guy in Northern Ireland during the conflict, which is just not. But they're all equally as funny as each other. It's not one of those ones where it's like so and so just stands out and gets all the funny lines. Like the three of them all get really funny, as hysterical.
And then I watched a Netflix program, which I found very intriguing, called The Last Chance U, which is a documentary about a American football team who are very good, one of the best, but they basically take the ragtags from all the other teams, or the fallouts from the other teams, or the naughty boys from the other teams, and turn them into an excellent football team. It's a real life documentary. And it gave me an insight to realise if this is how big high school football is, what on earth college football must be like. Because the facilities and the equipment and the amount of time and personnel that was dedicated to getting these boys through school and to be playing football at such a high level to get into top grade colleges was ridiculous. And the whole reason the school gets any sort of funding is because of the football team. No other reason. Literally, the football team is everything. And the town has 1,000 people in it, but 5,000 people come and watch all their games. Wow. It's just absolutely crazy. And that was one of my highlights. I watched the whole lot, and then I think there is just a new series, or there's a new series coming on very soon. I think it's about a slightly different team. So, yeah, gave me an interesting insight. And I do love, Netflix has done it recently. We're doing more sports team documentaries about behind the scenes, which I just absolutely adore, because it's looking at the management side, but also it's about sport. So, two of my favourite things.
Yeah.
Right on.
And you, Soph?
I currently.
I like Star Wars. I like the Clone Wars.
How about you just.
Solo was my favourite film, and I
how
like the
about you
Rebels.
I'm currently watching a program that I know is going to make Brian and Shelby very happy that I'm talking about it. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, whether you actually pronounce it Agretsuko or if you just go Retsuko, like her name. I don't know if the ag is silent.
It's supposed to
and
be
then
like
it's Retsuko?
aggressive Retsuko, I think.
Or is it, how do you
so it's
pronounce the
Agretsuko,
ag?
I think, is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Agretsuko.
But yes,
I've
it's
just been
terrific,
watching it.
isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. It's been on my radar for a little while. I just kept seeing it popping up, and I was like, I'm just going to put it on. And I binged like the first, because they're like 15 minutes long or something, the episodes. And I just, if you have ever worked in an office or you've worked with, if you've had colleagues in your life and managers, you will find something to relate to this program, because it's just, it's just her little, when she loses it and she goes on and she does her like death metal, and it's like, my boss sucks right now, and I'm like, it's just smite him with lightning. It's incredible. And yeah, I was literally looking up all when Shelby then sent me a picture of your little squashies, and I was like, I need some Retsuko merch in my life. Just
Oh, absolutely.
so it's incredible. So yeah, I've been watching that at the moment. And then in terms of highlights for me for 2018, I'm really cross at Phil for saying, because he knew I was going to talk about this as one of my highlights, but we finally watched and finished watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars. We're about 5-6 years too late for it, but you know, who cares?
Well, we're not, because
it's not even over yet,
so it's relevant.
it just ends this
right?
year,
It's
so you'll be
really current.
It is on point.
This just in, guys. Clone Wars is cool.
Welcome to Bright Tree Radio.
Yeah. Hi. Anyway, I really enjoyed the Clone Wars when I was watching it, and I've had a few months to kind of stew on it and consume other Star Wars content, and it's made me realise how good it was. Like, Phil straight away said he loved Anakin in the Clone Wars. And it took me a little while because I was sort of being like, oh, Anakin, but then there's Obi-Wan, look, there's Ahsoka, oh my god, look, there's Luminara. And so I was a bit heavily distracted. But, like, looking back on it, I was like, Clone Wars Anakin is the best Anakin portrayal. He's just so cool in it. He's just awesome. And I don't know, it just gives... I'm not going to sit here and filibuster about the Clone Wars, basically, but that was a highlight for me. And the only other highlights, we've been a bit bad this year, haven't we, for sort of TV series? And the reason why is because we did a big Game of Thrones rewatch back in the kind of early summer.
Which we need to do again, I think.
Oh my gosh, we need to do this. And actually, I was going to say that was part of my highlight was actually that Brian and Shelby started watching it for the first time as we were doing our rewatch. So it was really cool to kind of get your reactions as you're going through this for the first time. Like, mostly for, I know, Brian, you'd seen bits and pieces of it. I think that's what you said.
Yeah, I'd seen up to about midway through the 4th season, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty far then.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it was cool. Not only was it really cool that you were watching it, but that you were liking it as well. Obviously, we call it the Love Actually effect now, don't we? But, like, it was really cool to kind of get your reactions, and then there'd be stuff where you'd be like, I'm so angry right now, and we'd be there going, oh, the payoff's really good. If you just have the 2 episodes of rage. And then you get through it. And to be honest, the main reason I'm bringing it up now is because Phil and I have said that, you know, you mostly have said Game of Thrones is the best thing on telly, and at the moment it's not been topped for me, and that's why I'm bringing it up as a 2018 highlight, because, I mean, who knows, maybe The Mandalorian will be the new thing that we're all raving about, but at the moment, for me, Game of Thrones is still the best TV, and I can't wait for the next final season.
I know. It's going to be intense.
It's
Can't
gonna
wait
be
for the
intense.
Night King to rule them all.
Right. So yeah, what about you, Brian?
Well, recently, believe it or not, I watch the same things that Shelby does. So I won't regale you with that again. My highlights for the year, I would say I always enjoy Bob's Burgers. So that's up there for me. Game of Thrones, like you said, Stranger Things. But new additions would be The Deuce, which is a really good show on HBO. It's kind of flying under the radar. You don't really hear a lot about it. At least I don't. Maybe out there somewhere else, everyone knows it's great. But it's an interesting look at New York at sort of the dawn of the porn industry. And yeah, it's pretty seedy stuff, but it's really good storytelling.
And it's good historical commentary. There's a lot of themes going on that they're exploring and showing, and I think it's pretty awesome what the work that they're doing. They also piloted the first time having, what is it? It's like a sex scene consultant or advocate for the actors and actresses. So they've never had a position like that on set before, and apparently it's so well received that they're basically changing how sex scenes are filmed in all other shows too. People are starting to adopt this, which is really cool that they're thinking about the impact that can have on actors and actresses. And overall, it's just a really good show too.
Mm-hmm. Really well done. I mean, HBO is no slouch on their television, but this one's it's worth watching. It's very, very intriguing. And also, I'm gonna give a shout out to Sabrina, because I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually really enjoyed it. So good job.
I got one more.
All right.
It was a long time ago, and I know we all enjoyed it. Glow.
Yes!
Oh yeah, true. Glow's fun. Glow's one of those like guilty pleasure things. Like, I watch it and I enjoy it, and then I literally don't ever think about it again.
Yeah. It just popped into my mind, and I thought I've got to mention it because it's...
I feel like it was one of the first programs the 4 of us kind of all watched at the same time, and I think, Shelby, you were the one, you got us onto it, and we were all kind of watching it all together, which was quite fun as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We haven't really even done that before then, I don't think. So
that's...
I think another season's coming out, isn't it?
I
feel like that's going to be this year.
There's definitely another season, but
I don't know how much
really
more
cool.
they can squeeze out of that one, but I'll be interested to watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
the Kimmy Schmidt. I love that first season, but then everything after that was kind of like,
I mean,
you're not.
you know,
You're not
Sometimes
this is wrestling, so
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth watching the first series and then just leaving it.
yeah,
yeah, but
honestly.
like I said, it's wrestling. You might find that like Beth Phoenix comes into it or something.
Yeah, that's just a reference I don't know.
People will know Beth Phoenix,
You should
surely.
have said Ronda Rousey.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a more recognizable name.
Ronda Rousey. Yeah. So we go. That's Netflix and chill.
Right on. So let's drop into the nice, comfy seats of our last segment, the silver screen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats for the silver screen.
All right, now that everyone's taken their seat, silenced their cell phones, let's hear what your favorite movie of 2018 was,
Oh my gosh.
and what you've been watching recently. Shelby, speak for us both, please.
Sure. We watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Which is the best Spider-Man ever?
I think so.
It is.
I
period.
really do. I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
the best Spider-Man ever.
I'm sorry, Tom Holland. That's his name, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
He's
I did it.
British, I think.
Yeah,
No, he's not, is he?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
Well, he puts on an American accent.
Oh, that's
Well,
never
tries
been
to.
done before.
What? No.
He
What,
said,
have you seen
"Are there
Martin-
more birds?"
Are
Martin
there more
Freeman.
birds? Perfect, Peter.
Arr,
I just felt like it was really good. Like you say, compared to
my
Martin
name
Freeman.
is Peter Parker. I am
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Martin Freeman's American accent is dreadful. Or even like Cumberbatch's isn't awesome. That's just because we know
I'm
he can do.
Doctor
he
Strange.
can
You
do
mean
such delicious
Bird Box
British
Bandersnatch?
accent. Are there more birds? Anyway, I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yes,
Spider-Verse.
anyway,
What
Spider-Verse.
is it then?
It is so good.
It's incredible, and the art is just fantastic. It's the closest I think I've ever seen something to being a true comic.
It's a comic book come to life. Like
Wow.
the animation is next level amazing,
The music's great. The
as we've said.
the little nods and Easter eggs and things
Oh,
like that
yeah.
are just
They've
phenomenal.
pulled in things from like every version of Spider-Man,
Hmm.
like screen, books, comics. It's even the game, like the Spider-Man game. They even like tied that into it. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's so
I
good.
definitely don't want to spoil it for anybody.
No,
It-
not until maybe you guys watch it when we talk about it.
Yeah.
But-
But it's incredible. Miles Morales is just probably my favorite Spider-Man out of everyone.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
great. And I think, I don't know, there's something too, I think that's why I almost like Spider-Man Homecoming as well as Into the Spider-Verse, is seeing these young kids become Spider-Man. And I think I like seeing them struggle with both becoming an adult or finding their place in the world, but then also having to save the world.
Mm-hmm. With great power comes. Oh, just stop with that.
Yeah. It's
Did they do that again?
Yeah, but it was great. Like every choice they
It's
made
so
in this
funny.
movie was so good.
There's
Yeah,
so
it's
much laughter, there's so much joy. It's
got hilarity. It's got heart. It's honestly so good. Like I would watch it again right now,
Mhm.
and then I would leave the theater and watch it again.
Mhm.
It's that good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find over here because it's like at our normal cinema, it's only on at like 1:15. They're only showing it once a day.
It was released ages ago.
At
Mike
1:15
saw
in
the
afternoon.
world premiere with
Oh,
Hannah.
did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said it was good.
Yeah.
He doesn't like movies like that either. He likes war movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's like my dad doesn't even like that kind of stuff, and he was like, "That was pretty good."
Mhm.
So for him to say
Yeah.
even that much was pretty telling.
Saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's our movie kind of right now.
Yeah, that's
But
our current
for
awesomeness.
my 2018 favorite movie, this is like
Drum
really,
roll.
really difficult.
Yeah.
It's good job, Brian.
Thank you.
Annihilation.
I
know. It was one of those movies that Okay.
That's the soundtrack.
Yeah. It was one of those movies that sticks with you and you keep thinking about it for weeks and months.
The voice that came out of the bear, though.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
It gives you nightmares, but also makes you think, and the commentary within the movie. Oh my gosh,
Yeah, it's
chilling.
so good.
And to have that all-female cast that was so just kick butt.
Well, and they didn't make a big deal about it.
No,
You know
they
what I mean? It wasn't like, and not to like belittle the new Ghostbusters or whatever, it was just kind of, I don't know if it was purposely marketed that way, but everyone thought of it as like, hey, look, it's the new girl Ghostbusters. But this was just like, oh, hey, look, it's a all-girl sci-fi movie. No, it was just like, this is Annihilation. This just happens to be all women.
And
Here
it
we go.
was good. It was so good.
Yeah. Have you guys seen it?
No, isn't it based off a book?
Yes.
Is that
It's
right?
actually a series
Yeah.
of books. So
Which I
it'll
should
be
read.
it'll be
Okay.
interesting to see if they
I feel like
carry
they will.
on.
I feel like they will.
Yeah, it did so well. I think, follow the money. That's basically how Hollywood works, but
Mhm.
we'll see. But yeah, I'm with you.
We'll have to check it out.
That's a good,
By the director of Ex Machina,
yeah.
Which we liked.
which, yeah, is one of my favourites.
Plus, I mean, Natalie Portman. So
Yeah. Oh, really? I mean,
that's all you need
come
to
on.
say. And Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. Poe
Benedict
Dameron
Wong.
and Poe Dameron and Anakin's
Oh.
baby mama hooked up. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And what was Benedict
Oh,
Wong's
ship
name
it.
in Doctor Strange? Was it not just one? And it was like
Yeah.
Adele? Wasn't it?
So,
Right.
Nice.
what about you, Brian? What's your number one for 2018?
Man, I don't know. I have.
Awesome.
I'm gonna go through 5 really quick because I couldn't pick one, so I'm not gonna really talk about them. I'm just gonna mention them. One is Annihilation, Spider-Verse, Mortal Engines, Ready Player One, and Avengers. Round out my
Nice.
top 5. I couldn't pick one. I don't know. Now thinking about it, it's either probably Annihilation or Spider-Verse.
That's what I was battling between.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I really liked Ready Player One too, but I really liked the book,
Yes.
and I was looking forward to that one. So
I also thought Searching was like a really good movie that no one talked about a lot.
I thought it was good, but it's buried down there probably in top 20 for me.
Okay. So what about you all? What's your current and what's your 2018?
Do you mean Jarl?
Y'all, yins.
Y'all.
We just
Yins.
spent time in Pittsburgh, so it's yins.
Oh, that's fun.
Are we
Yins,
watching
guys.
anything at the moment?
We're doing a rewatch. So we're doing
We're watching
essentially an epic rewatch of Lord of the Rings, which starts with The Hobbit. So we just watched The Hobbit the other week.
You could cut that film to an hour and a half and it'd be really good.
Do you know that's
Problem is it's like 3 hours, which makes it
yeah, I think that's
really
the
almost
thing
unwatchable.
with The Hobbit. I really enjoy the Hobbit movies, but I enjoy just bits of them, and I enjoy being back in Middle Earth and being in that world. I think Martin Freeman's really great as Bilbo. I think the dwarves were amazingly cast, and the dwarves kind of add a bit of lightness that the Lord of the Rings didn't quite. I mean, you had like Gimli and Legolas's banter and stuff like that, but there's something really gung-ho about the dwarves, which is amazing. I really like how just fearless they are, and they just kind of batter in.
Are they
but yeah,
fearless
you're right.
or are they just a little daft? That's the real question.
Headstrong, maybe, yes. But it's quite comical,
I
isn't
think it's
it?
because
And
they remind you of me, because I'm a bit like that.
yeah.
Arms swing in and just go for it.
Yeah,
and
the
see what
main
happens.
guy is very much like Phil in Diablo, basically. As
Yeah.
he just sort of barrels on, and it's like, you've got a really vulnerable wizard, you need to protect. Oh no, okay, don't worry, I'll just stand back here and die. You just jump on ahead. This is basically how our Diablo games go. But yeah, there's just some editing issues, and I don't know that they can necessarily have got it into one film, because a lot does happen.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a George Lucas situation where he had a lot of technology at his fingers,
Oh yeah, the
and he just
CGI
wanted to
is-
CGI everything, and
Yeah.
it was too much.
Yeah, Peter Jackson gets away with
But
a lot of over CGI.
We've got to
usage.
watch these to be able to get through
Yeah,
to Lord of the
and
Rings. So
there are lovely moments in it, and the songs are great as well. Really, really love the song. And there's a very moving story rumbling along in the background as well, with sort of Thorin and everything. They're a little bit confusing, but I just roll with it. Just chill in Middle Earth for a few hours a day and get on to Lord of the Rings, which is the really good stuff. So that's all we've really watched recently, I think. And then my number, I struggled with the number one as well, because it was a big year for films.
Yeah, there were
So
a lot of,
I'm
lot of
kind
good
of-
movies.
Yeah. So I I sort of narrowed it down. I have got one, but my kind of honourable mentions would be Black Panther. I really, really enjoyed Black Panther. I keep forgetting that came out last year as well.
I
'cause
know,
it was
right?
It was like February, wasn't it, or something? I knew it when I was in the cinema, and I was like, this is something I didn't. You fell asleep in the cinema the first time around, didn't you? I think it was like a really long day for you. But I remember
No rustlers, I guess.
I do. Yeah, I remember getting a little bit fidgety because it is very, very long. But I can remember watching it thinking, I'm going to love watching this in my own time when I can pause it and get some more food and get, nip to the loo and all that kind of stuff. And so I've enjoyed it more at home the times that we've watched it. I just think it's it's just a really cool film. And they went to Korea as well, which was obviously major exciting because we were going there. So that was always but yeah, and then another honourable mention would be Solo. Obviously, that came out in
yeah,
May.
that thing.
That thing.
Yeah, it was
And I
okay.
really enjoyed Solo. It was that was one of the ones that you know I walked into with no expectations at all, and then because of just all the drama that had happened with it, and I was like, I really like this. And there were moments where I felt like a kid again watching it and seeing Chewie and Han flying the Falcon. You know, they had just some good moments, and it just makes you smile, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's fun and it makes you smile.
Yeah.
Speaking
And then-
of that, we never
Yeah.
mentioned the Meg.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
The Meg is the
The
guilty pleasure
Meg.
movie. That is fun and makes you smile, but my God, was it bad?
I loved it though.
I think, here we are, it's Phil the film critic. I think that they knew it was terrible,
Yes.
and that they had little like winks to Jaws and to other movies that are ridiculous that then made it actually
Yeah.
kind of acceptable. But the budget was $150 million to make that movie. They made back like 3 times as much.
Oh yeah.
It was an absolute box office hit. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I watched it. I'll tell you what, I probably would watch it again.
Yep, I
Yeah,
would.
right? Like, I think you nailed it with saying that it doesn't try to take itself seriously. It knows, like, okay, this is a goofy giant shark movie. Let's just ham it up and let's do it. And they do. And it's goofy and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favourite film, I kept coming back to it and thinking, is this really where I'm going? But actually, I'm gonna stick with it because I just kept coming back to it
Ant-Man
and
and
couldn't
Wasp.
think of anything else. That's the one.
I knew it.
That's a good film this year.
I really loved it. I liked
What's
it. I literally made such a scene at that moment when, you know, when you're like, you find something really funny and then the rest of the cinema has stopped laughing, but you're still going.
Yeah, that
And
happens
is
to me a
literally
lot.
what happened to me. It got to the point where Phil was like, dude, shut up. Like, it's not funny anymore. And then, like, because I ended up watching it about 3 times in the cinema. And, like, I'd then start laughing before that bit came. Anyway, I just loved it. I loved the Wasp. I thought she was brilliant. It obviously ties in beautifully with the rest of the storyline without being too much like, bong, here's the Avengers, bong, don't forget it, kind of thing. I just thought it was a great film.
Paul Rudd's one of my favourites.
Paul Rudd is amazing.
Yeah, he's terrific.
And his friends just remain hysterical. It's kind of the same with Spider-Man Homecoming, isn't it? Where his friend is just hilarious. I want all the friends to have their own film, you know? Have the little... have, like, Darcy from Thor coming over and, yeah, just get them all together for a film. That's Infinity War Part 2 that we really need.
Okay. So,
Who's left? You?
you've basically covered all of my movies.
Yeah, I was going to say...
So I have to pick something different.
No, go with the one you were going to say, because we haven't really talked about it.
Coco.
Oh, that's such a good movie. Was that last year?
Yeah.
It was.
That
Wow.
wasn't The Greatest Showman last year as
No,
well?
it was the year before.
Oh, year before, okay.
And it's just, you know, we've covered Infinity War, we've covered Solo, we've covered various bits and pieces, The Meg.
The Meg.
But for me, you've got to have an animated movie in there somewhere. I know
Yeah.
you said Spider-Verse, but we've not
Yeah.
seen that yet. But yeah, Coco, just another absolute hit from Disney Pixar.
Yeah.
Amazing, great concept, excellent artwork, excellent songs, excellent everything.
Oh, it's just lovely, wasn't it? Really lovely.
I am a big favourite of a Disney animation. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if it was last year, but we watched Jungle Book, didn't we, at Christmas?
Did
Oh,
we?
the
I
new
did.
live action one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I watched it at Christmas, and it gets me very excited for Lion King, Dumbo, Aladdin.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very, very good.
Yeah.
Very,
too.
very good.
I'm
So-
not. I don't know how I feel about The Lion King, just because I can't. I walked in on Mum and Dad's, and she had the I don't know what it's called, but just the original Lion King, and she was at the bit of Mufasa's death, and I was like, I can't come in that room. I'm literally choking up. I cannot watch that scene at all. Like, I could probably choke up now just talking about it, so we're going to move on really quickly.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle watching The Lion King, but I'll do it anyway. But I'm really hyped from all the Aladdin pictures that have come out recently. There's a few shots from the movie that have come out, and that looks really, really good as well.
Mhm.
So
That's
it's
my
exciting, yeah.
favorite Disney animation. So I'm
You're torn. You're not sure how you
like
feel
I want to
about
be
live
excited,
actions.
but also I want to be like, why are you messing with it? It's perfect.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. We don't need a live action.
You know,
make up something
think-
new, Disney. You
yeah.
lazy turds.
There's actually a good honorable mention for movies for 2018 that I thought of. It's Pacific Rim Uprising.
Bro, yes, I like that movie.
It was really good.
I know it got panned, but I don't know.
I was going to say, didn't it not do very well, or
Yeah.
or did it do very well but get criticised? I can't remember which.
I think it did not as well as expected and got heavily
I mean, it's
criticized.
absurd. It's also kind of like on that same level of the Meg.
All right.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Starship Troopers, if you've ever seen that one.
Yes.
Oh,
Where
a long time
it's-
ago, yeah.
It's kind of over the top, but I don't know. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought the twist was good. I don't know. No.
There were
No
a lot
bad
of good
things.
movies this year. When I was looking up, okay, what
Yeah.
was actually released in 2018, I was like, oh, that was good. And that was good. And I liked that too.
Yeah.
But I also saw
Yeah.
a lot more movies in theaters because
Movie
MoviePass,
Pass, yeah.
rest in peace.
Right before
Mm.
it realized that it couldn't sustain itself because it was too good to be true.
Oh no! Is that all running out then?
Oh,
for you
yeah, we
guys?
canceled a while
Yeah,
back.
it still exists, but it's like
Oh.
garbage at this point. Like
Oh,
you can
okay.
see 3 movies a month now, and it's only certain movies that have been out for a while at certain times. It's so limiting. It's
Oh.
not worth it. It
Mhm.
used to
Yeah.
pay for itself tenfold. Now it's garbage.
Yep.
Which is
Oh.
sad.
So
'cause-
now we're more selective and it's
Yeah.
interesting. And I don't know. And I forget about movies when they come out on DVD to like watch them.
Yeah.
right, like Venom, for example. I saw that like at the checkout counter of a grocery store, and I was like, "Whoa, this is out already." I still haven't watched it.
I actually didn't mind it. Like, I feel like I'm in a really small camp that was just like, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
I've heard several people say that if you don't go in expecting it to be some great extravagant movie, it's just fine. So
but I quite like Tom Hardy anyway.
right, yeah,
So, you know, you're kind of already. But no, I liked the whole thing with him and Venom. So I think, I mean, check it out. You can all say to me that I'm wrong.
We still haven't seen Aquaman. We still have
Yeah.
not seen Aquaman because we gotta listen for that.
No, we
Ocean to
haven't
Ocean
either.
Song.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But I think overall,
to see it.
2018 was a really great year for media in general.
I think it was a
Yeah.
killer year for movies. I would say that takes the cake of our segments, except for maybe the game room, because
Netflix and chill was great too.
nothing beats Gloomhaven.
Okay, fair.
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to agree with Shelby. I think Netflix has stepped it up this year.
Yeah.
Netflix has so much
And of course,
content.
the
Oh my
others
gosh,
have.
they're just like
They just throw it
constantly upchucking
Yeah.
stuff. Like you don't even hear. There's no build up. They just throw stuff out there. Like here, you'll find it. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're turning over like $1 billion a month
It's
at the moment,
amazing.
though.
Yeah.
The,
But it's
the
even
money
like-
they're making is
it's like-
ridiculous. So the content ought to be good with the
Yeah.
amount of money they're making.
But when I keep having, like, our friends keep telling us, don't they, to get Amazon
Amazon,
Prime,
yeah.
because there's some great stuff on that. Yeah, there's like the Vikings, and I can't remember what the other thing was.
Outlander.
Yeah, we're missing all of that content because we've only at the moment got Netflix, and you know, Sky with all the HBO
Yeah.
and stuff
I
like
think
that. But
Vikings
there's
and
a whole
Outlander are
world of
both
content.
network shows that might just be available through Prime. But
Yeah.
yeah, they have that Jack Ryan show. They have what's the other one that's really popular on Prime? I don't know. But yeah, they've apparently been stepping up their game too. And then Hulu has
Yeah.
The Handmaid's Tale, which is
Oh yeah, you
pretty
guys have
good.
Hulu.
but very disturbing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had to do that in school, so I'm a bit like traumatized by it because I had to do it for my like exams and stuff. I did a whole term on The Handmaid's Tale, and I was yeah. You know, sometimes there's the stuff that you do in school that you're just like, oh, I just can't go back to that
Yeah.
now. So yeah, but I know I hear good things about it. So
Yes. So I think that kind of wraps up our episode today. If you would like to comment on your favorite things of 2018, please give us a shout out on our social medias. You can find us at PNE_pod on Twitter and Instagram.
You can hit us up via email at contact@podsandends.com,
And we have our website.
which is really lame right now. But we'll eventually have more stuff, more writings, more wordly things. And that is tripledubs.podsandends.com.
And what's also exciting is we are on all our platforms, and we would love to hear from you. So please give us a review, especially on iTunes. That helps other people find the podcast. So drop some stars. Let us know what you think. Words are better than just stars. So.
Yeah, help people open the junk drawer.
Yes. Share it with your friends. We're also on YouTube, so feel free to comment on there. We will respond.
Y'all-tube. Yins-tube.
So thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your support so far with our podcast. We have so much fun doing it, and we're looking forward to 2019 and all the things we're going to talk about.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, excellent. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
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 Ciao.